right, well, we're going to be working on peppermint bark today, and I've had a couple people ask me how we do it, so I thought I would show you. It's super easy. I'm not going to be talking about how you melt down chocolate and everything today. I'm going to assume that you know how to do that, and we're just going to walk through the process of how to layer. So right now I have dark chocolate, and with the dark chocolate I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of oil of peppermint. Usually when you do a peppermint bark recipe, it calls for an extract. So if you were going to do this at home, I would suggest, however your recipe says, you're probably going to do twice the amount with an extract versus if you were to do an oil, because the oil is very, very strong. We're going to stir that in. And just so you know, this is 2 pounds of dark chocolate. If you were doing this at home, you would probably do 1 pound. Nice little stir there. And the brand that I'm using is the Alpine dark chocolate. I have really come to appreciate this chocolate. It has a nice flavor and it has a nice sheen when it sets. So on my parchment, I'm just going to pour this all out. Working with chocolate is not that hard as long as you realize or remember that there are 2 things. One thing to remember is you don't want to make your chocolate too hot. Second thing to remember is you need to work fast. So right now I'm just going to create the base for my bark. I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm going to let my spatula just move that wherever I need it to go. If you are working with your chocolate and you're like, oh my word, the chocolate is starting to set already, that is tip number 1, that you're going too slow. You need to be very, very fast. Okay? So there's the bottom layer. I'm just going to scrape my spatula, try to get this all on here. You don't want to waste any of the precious chocolate. And that's the bottom part of the peppermint. Now we're going to wait for this to mostly set, meaning there's just going to be a little bit of shine on the top, but you're going to see that the edges have already started to get that more slightly dull look to it. All right, so here I have my white chocolate. When you're working on your bark at home, you want your white chocolate to be double the amount of your dark. So again, my base here was 2 pounds, so my top here is 4 pounds. I'm going to be adding my oil of peppermint. For this total recipe of 6 pounds of chocolate, it is 2 teaspoons of oil of peppermint. Just give it a good stir. Some people are worried that the oil or the extract is going to seize your chocolate. You will be fine, especially with the white chocolate. All right, that's nicely mixed. Tear out your weight. This is a soft peppermint. This is a very, very soft peppermint. This is not like the hard candy canes that you buy and you crush. That is a hard sugar. This is a very, very soft. And this is what I would recommend using for your bark. We're going to be putting in 4 ounces. Okay. Stir, stir, stir. And then we're going to set this aside just for a second, because through this process, our store is about 67 degrees. Through this process, something horrible has happened, and this might happen in your kitchen. I came back to my chocolate and it had already set. Now, this is an issue when I go to put a melted chocolate on top of a set chocolate because it needs to be warm. It needs to still be, I guess I'll use the word onset. The fat has to be active so that this chocolate can adhere with the fat in the white chocolate. If it doesn't have that chance to adhere and to melt together, when I go to cut this, the white and the dark will naturally just separate. They won't stick to each other, and then you lose that beautiful foot on your bark. So you might be like, okay, so do I start all over again? No, you don't start all over again. What you're going to do is, if you have yours on a piece of parchment, you're going to get yourself a cookie tray. You're going to put this on there. You're going to have your oven turned on, and you're just going to put it in the oven for a couple seconds, like maybe 20, 30 seconds, 350, 375. You're going to wait for your chocolate to get a sheen on the top. It's not, you don't want it to be boiling. You're not baking it. You're just activating this top part again. You're melting it just the littlest bit. And that's what we're going to be doing right here. All right, we're going to go over to the oven. Excuse our area. We have been working hard this morning. It's going to go right in. And I'm just going to keep a really close eye on that chocolate. All right, there we go. You can see the shimmer on it. And now we're going to move really fast because you can see it starting to set again already. Again, we're remembering that we are working fast. We are dealing with chocolate. Just take your spatula and you move it along the top of the chocolate. You're just very, very gently moving the top into place. You're not going deep at all. I just want to bring it to the edge, not necessarily to cover, but just to the edge, meaning not to go beyond that. All right, look how easy that was. That covered so well. I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit, scrape off my spatula, don't want to waste any of that beautiful chocolate. And then we are going to coat with some of this beautiful peppermint. You can go as heavy, as light as you want to. Again, this peppermint, they get this in at the bulk department. If you come in and you don't see it, ask one of the girls that work back there. All right. Now, I'm going to slip it off my sheet here. Whoop. There we go. That was easy. There's a reason for slipping it off the sheet, and it's because your cookie sheets bow from the heat. And then when you go to cut it, it's not laying flat on the counter, so you really do want it to be on a perfectly flat area when you go to cut it. And ideally, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to slice it within, I would say, about a half hour of its setting. You don't want to wait too terribly long. You still want that chocolate to be very, very soft and pliable when you go to cut it, so that it comes off your knife easy and it won't splinter. So all that is left to do is cut out your peppermint bark slices to your desired sizes and enjoy.